everyone. Welcome back to your TerraCore On Demand. My name's Leah. It's amazing to be with you today. We're going to run through a stretch recovery practice. A lot of us are super duper active, running through all these workouts, I'm sure, and so it's nice to allow our body to have some time to stretch. So let's begin in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you don't know what that is, that's okay. Our soles of feet will be touching the pinky edge side of our feet to our mat, and then we'll come down to our back. So if you wanted to start on your backs first, you can, bringing the soles of your feet to touch, knees open wide. Now, if you need to support your legs, you can always bring them a little bit further to the long edges of your mat. That'll relax it on your hips. If you want to have a little bit more intense of a stretch, you can bring them closer towards your tailbone. Just breathe. Close your eyes. One hand to your belly. One hand comes to your heart. So wherever your day has been, maybe you're just starting this morning or it's the evening, midday, I want you to allow yourself to settle by your breath, creating waves by breathing in through your belly and letting go out your mouth. It's okay to be still. It's okay to settle. I want you to give yourself the permission to just move with ease, honoring your body where it's at today, honoring your emotions, your state of mind. Just where you're at today is perfectly okay. A lot of us, the human being is meant to fixate on problems to solve. And when we don't have initial problems right away in our life, we like to create problems, right? So I want you just to imagine what it would feel like right now if you just let your problems go. Are they solvable or not? Regardless of that, validating that it feels real. But it's okay to let your problems dissolve. It's okay to let them go. One more big belly breath in, chest rises, exhale, let it go, letting go of all the problems. Let's do that one more time, breathing in and exhale. Imagine letting those problems go. No longer do they need to be with us today. Softly bring our hands to the outsides of our knees. Gently close your legs together like a book. Hug our knees in towards our chest. You can move slow because sometimes that can be intense on our low back. Now pause just for a moment, hugging our knees into the chest. Hip circles, so bringing our knees outward, drawing our knees open, bringing our knees together at the top. Hip circles. Knees come in towards our chest, out towards the sides of our body, up and around. Allowing your body to just be still, lifting, bringing it around. Breathing in and out. Now pause. Let's take it in the opposite direction. So knees come together to the top. Now we open at the top, bring it together. Settling our body, grounding. Feel the earth stable beneath you. Always supporting you. Other side. And completing by bringing our knees in just tightly towards our chest. Exhale. Stamp your feet hip width distance apart on your mat or your space. Create a nice straight line from knee to heel. Tee out our arms. Gently let our legs windshield wiper side to side, and if it feels nice and you want to, you can stamp your feet just a little bit wider for a little bit extra. Side to side. Legs fall towards the right, up, sweeping over to the left, and you can take a lag in it, so it's almost like that Supta Baddha Konasana at the top, and then open. Feel it expand through your hip flexor. Again, it's so important to also have a slower practice involved in our day or life. So this is a perfect addition to add into your week. Just a slower stretching. You're still accomplishing a lot. Our bodies do need a rest and recovery, a stretch recovery, so honor that. Let's let our legs fall towards the right when they get there. Fall towards the right and gaze to the left. This is creating a little bit of a spinal rinse. Rinsing our spine, letting go of our problems. I always like to imagine our problems are in our spine, and when we rinse it out, we release. I like to say that, but it's just a fun analogy that I can imagine. So let's let ourselves rinse. If you want to create more of a stretch right in this pose, you can lift your right ankle and place it on top of your left thigh. That'll create this rinse. There it is. Yep, beautiful. And breathe into it. So notice if you're tense, see if you can relax. Notice if your knees are flexed or tense, relax your joints. Unwind, the leg comes down. Let's bring our legs up and over to the other side. Left leg comes up, rinsing from the other. Gaze to the right. And notice again, are you holding tension and where? Just notice. And then now bring your breath to that space. What does that mean by bringing our breath to the space? So mindfully, we breathe in and mindfully send the exhale of release to the hips, the feet, wherever it is. Bringing ourselves back to center, unwind. Hug our knees into our chest. Rock and roll ourselves up. This is a free little massage right here. Up and over. Be careful with your legs coming over your head. That can be a little bit intense on your neck. So if you are not used to it, I would prefer you just to come to your shoulder blades and back. Crossing our ankles. Coming forward, plant our hands, come to our knees. Tabletop pose. Wrist stretches, so palms face outward, fingertips inward. We just rock ourselves side to side. Feels good to just honor our body. Slow move. Bringing our fingertips to our knees one at a time. Woo, that's tight. So if your wrist can't quite meet the earth, just lean forward a little bit. If you have flexibility in your wrist, you can start to even peel your wrist back, coming onto your fingertips. Teeter-totter forward and back. Breathe into it. Pause, breathe, relax. Last thing we'll do is flip the tops of our wrists, palms, coming down to our wrists. Now be careful with this. Don't put too much pressure on your wrist. Allow yourself to peel it back, forward. If that's a little much, you can always do one at a time. Beautiful. Curl your toes, sit back, and then just roll out one wrist at a time. Now we'll move into some foot stretch, heel stretch. Spread your toes wide as you can. Now send your hips back. Gently press into your palms, hips come back. Option if you want to start to gaze towards your navel. Even lifting your knees, bringing it into a little ball, and bringing it back down. Teeter-tottering knees up, and legs down. This is a nice heel foot stretch, as well as getting a little back by rounding our spine. Last time, drop our heels down. Beautiful supported gate pose to help our quads. Coming down to our right hip. Right elbow comes down. Beautiful. Extend your right leg, lengthen through our spine, left leg lifts. Now we just capture our left ankle, and if you want, you can even come down and just feel this stretch. Use your bicep as a pillow. The goal is to feel this quad stretch so knees can come together just a little bit more. And again, if you wanted to stay up, you can, just supported. Relax. Unwind. Pause here. Open our shoulders. Roll it out. Big shoulder circle. Other side. Bringing left elbow down, roll to your belly, and then left hip. Again, you can come down, capture your right ankle this time. Now, instead of splaying it open, see if you can drive your knee in line with your hip. And just gently pull it in rather than torquing it in. Just gently pull it in. And then at the same time, send your knee back. It'll help to create this stretch through your hip flexor. Breathe into it. Extend. Walk yourself up if you're not there. Shoulder stretch. Open your right. Big circles. And final one. Coming down to our belly. Floor pigeon. This one's a beautiful shoulder stretch. Coming to our belly, tee out our arms, bring your right cheek to your mat. Left hand comes by our shoulder, left shoulder. Pressing into your right hand, start to lift your left leg, lift it up, and then step it behind your right leg, peeling yourself open. Now, option, you can just stack your legs or just gently put it back. If you can't bend yourself open, use your left hand to really allow your shoulder to expand. We'll hold this for a couple breaths. Breathe. Relax into your shoulder. It can be a little bit scary feeling because you're in a new pose and you're feeling your chest is tearing apart, your shoulder. Just ease into it. No need to go full send right away. Allow yourself to come back towards your stomach nice and gently. Tee out your left arm, gaze towards the right. Right hand comes towards your shoulder. Lift your right ankle and then peel yourself open. Expand. To create more of a stretch, press into your right hand to really open through your shoulder. You can even walk your leg back. Or you can just place it on stacking on top of each other or just gently behind. Last breath. And release. Press into your palms. Send yourself up. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful hamstring stretch. Now let your head relax. Shoulders relax as well. Try to drive your heels down. If you're on your toes, that's okay. The goal would be more so to create chest to thigh connection than heel to mat. So I'd rather you be on your toes, creating your chest to fall through, than your heels connect. But try pedaling out your feet. Relax your shoulders, head soft, jaws soft. Energetically allow your body to melt. Sink your head lower. Find a nice stable down dog. Weight comes into our left leg. Our right leg begins to lift. Square your hips. What does that mean? I don't want your hip splayed open to the right. I want your hips to be nice and square towards the ground. Bend your knees. Step your right leg through. Drop your left leg. Extend your left toes. You can stay here if you can't quite reach the ground. You're also welcome to come up to your knee, but just make sure your knee is in line with ankle or behind your toes. If you look like this, I just capture your heel a little bit forward. Yeah? Beautiful. Lunging into this. And again, if you're up, that's okay. If this feels a lot, you just relax, come back onto your knee, and then dive into it. Or you're down. Breathe. If you can and you want to, walk your hands to the inside of your right foot. Stay here. Toe heel your right foot out to the wider edges of your mat or space. And then open your right knee, just peeling it open. You can even press your right hand into it to exaggerate the open. Breathe. Soften. If you have the mobility, you can come down to your elbows. Lizard pose. So from the front, you're looking like this. I'll go back to the side. Walk your hands up. Heel toe your foot back to center. Keep your hands on the inside. Curl your left toes. Hands are still on the inside. Just peel yourself. Walk yourself to a wide-legged forward fold. If you can, elbows can come down. If not, just reach to the outer edges of your feet. The goal is to come a little bit more into the balls of your feet. See if you can notice shifting from your heels to the balls of your feet. Let your head relax without tension. You can even give a soft bend in your knees. Hands come back to center. Walking ourselves back to the right. Square over your right leg. Send it up. Scorpion pose. So bend your knee first. Now peel your hips open to the right. This is where I want you to focus on pressing equal weight into your palms rather than opening through one side. Leg comes down. Breathe in, left leg high. Exhale, step through into a low lunge. Drop your right leg, extend your right toes. Again, if you did on the other side and you were up on your knee, come up onto your knee. Diving into our hips, send it forward. Remember, stack knee in line with ankle. You can hang out here. You can even try that extend and bend. Just working into it. And if you can, bring your hands to your mat or ground. Toe heel. So what does that mean? Your toe goes out, your heel goes out, toe goes out, heel goes out. So it's at the wide edge of our mat. And again, you can press into your right hand. Use your left hand to open your leg a little bit more. So again, imagine being soft within your body. So if you're tight and tense, it's hard to get into those spaces. So see if you can drop, relax. There, beautiful. Hand comes back down. If you want, you can travel to a lizard. Elbows. The goal is just to find stillness rather than the full expression of the pose. I just rather you get into something and hold it rather than fidgeting, moving around, fidgeting, just still. Now toe heel our foot back to center, but keep our hands on the inside of our foot. Curl your right foot, lift your leg, and then trace yourself wide fold to the other side. I'll flip around. So we're hanging heavy. Whatever you did on the other side, you can find that now. Bend your knees, maybe one at a time. This time, see if you can lengthen through your spine and let gravity pull you down. Shift forward into the ball mounts of your feet. Energetically let yourself hang a little bit lower. Walking our hands back up. Bringing our hands to the left, so I mirrored you. We'll come back down. Toe heel your foot into center. Frame your left foot. Send your left leg high. Open up scorpion pose on the left. Stack your hips. And bring it back downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Step your feet to the top of your space. Round down, tiny ball. Connect your forehead to your knees. Heels lift. Round into yourself. Drive your heels down. Forward fold. Bring it back down. Knees lift. Come down to your sits bones. Legs extend. Breathe in, sit tall. Hands high. Without squeezing your shoulders towards your ears, see if you can relax them down, away, down your spine. Now inhale, reach yourself forward as if you're reaching towards the front of your space. Stay here. Now lift a little bit taller in your spine. Exhale, forward. Lift a little bit taller. Reach a little bit more forward. Exhale all the way down. You can round, create forehead to knee connection. If you need, you can bend your knees. Don't feel like they have to be extended. Wherever you're at, it's perfectly fine. Just let your self dangle, folding, melting, cascading over your thighs. Again, breathe into the spaces that feel tight. You're doing it perfectly right. You're being in the moment. Your mind is here with me. Your breath is with your body. If you notice any thoughts, just notice them as a thought and then let them go. Allowing yourself to be fluid, letting thoughts in and letting them go rather than ruminating, creating the problem. Just allow them to notice and then let it go. Walking our hands back up towards our hips. Letting ourselves unwind. Stamping our feet, soles of feet down to the ground. Supine figure 4, seated. So it's not supine, it's seated figure 4. Right leg comes on top of our left. So if that's hard to get into, just create your leg long, bring it here, and then let your left leg come up. I like to call it sandwich. Sandwich yourself. Toe healing just toe and then heel, toe and heel, inching it back. Now, rather than dumping into our shoulders, see if you can press into your palms, find length, open our chest. Sandwich yourself just a little bit more. You can even bring your heels toward your glute or your glute towards your heels. Wherever you're at is perfectly fine. Rolling your ankle if that's nice. Now this is where we'll start to rock our hips side to side. So familiar with the rocking side to side. Notice different sensations within your hips. Now allow your legs to fall to the left. Once that happens, walk your hands up so that your sits bone connects to the ground. You'll be in a twist. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches high. Exhale, elbow connects to the outside of our arm, our leg. Rinse. Sit a little bit taller, find space. Exhale, rinse. Gaze over your right shoulder. Beautiful. Unwind, reverse it so hands come over to the left. Bow down, pressing up. Unwind. Let's take this on the other side. So again, however you got into it, left ankle, pull it in. Sandwich your body in. Rolling your ankle. Remember our shoulders, if you're sinking into them, how can you elongate yourself? So press into your palms, lift your chest, notice your shoulders come back into their sockets rather than out. Send our hips side to side. You might feel a little hip pop. Thanks for taking a slower moment with me. I know it's hard to slow down. We always want to get our workout in, think to the next, but it's really important to take these time to just be still. So allow our leg to drop. This is a form of a moving meditation. They all are, right? Walk our hands up, but it's allows us to calm. This time, your left hand will plant, right arm reaches, right elbow hooks to the outside, we rinse. So without slumping, see if you can sit taller. Imagine your spine super long, a string pulling the crown of your head up. Sit taller, rinse. We find length by sitting taller and rinsing. Gaze over your left shoulder. Last breath here, breathing in. Exhale, rinse, and unwind. Bowing to the opposite side. Pressing up. Unwind, legs long, shake it out. Lowering down to our back. Hug our knees into our chest. Option for happy baby. You can grab the inner arches of your feet or peace fingers around your big toes. Just allow your tailbone to connect to the ground, your head, your back, your low back. The goal is to keep your spine from tailbone to crown of head completely sealed to the ground rather than lifting like this. See if you can come down, and if you have to grab just your ankles to do so, do that. Now the goal also is to pull down with your arms, your knees into your armpits. If you want to extend one leg at a time, you can. Both legs. I like to call this one happy girlfriend, happy boyfriend. A little provocative for the TerraCore fam, but you know. Bring it in. Hug our knees into our chest. Final hug, forehead to knee. Release. How we started our practice, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of feet touch. Arms tee out. Allow yourself to relax. Again, if this is too intense on your hips, extend your legs out just a little bit. It'll alleviate some pressure. Otherwise, your feet can come in close. Just breathe. Take up space.